Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining. This is Stephen for a reason. You are watching the RCN Show. Today is, my gosh, September 14th. The month is halfway through. Michelle, what do you think of that?
Well, it seemed like the year just began, actually.
I
We're
know.
already in towards the middle of September.
It's kind of crazy. So, anyways, we are on episode 35. I can't believe we've gotten this many episodes done, but it just shows you how many people love to talk about what they do. And the guests that we have are fantastic recently. And we got another amazing guest on today. And I look forward to that conversation and sharing with you some incredible different things that our guest Crystal is doing in her real estate industry. So we'll get to that right away. Again, I just want to make point of talking about our sponsors. Thank you to George Tremis out of Toronto, GT Realty Group. Again, look at that, Money Mountain, September 20th, Team Thrive. Now,
So excited.
yeah, no kidding. Like, we've been trying to race, Michelle, to try to catch up on all this excitement and hype. But we'll talk a little bit more about Team Thrive after we chat with Crystal. But be prepared, because we got a big logo reveal, and I'm excited about that. So we'll get to that shortly. Now, quickly, our other sponsor, and if you remember Real Stacy, and she's coming back on our show again very near future as well. But I am thrilled, and I mean thrilled, to be able to say Stacy Prieur, who is a Kathleen Black elite coach, is now partnered with us, sponsor of us. She's going to be in front of every realtor member of our organization, and we have over 80,000 realtor members right now. And she's just, I don't know, she was sick, Michelle, today in my meeting with her, and we're still talking about her music. We're still talking about, she's crazy, half crazy, but also extremely professional, knowledgeable. And what makes her a Kathleen Black elite coach, Michelle, is she doesn't just coach realtors. She's also able to coach brokers as well. So that is pretty awesome. I can't wait. We're going to be doing different promotions of her events and her programming and her coaching and things like that. Again, her real estate coaching is brand neutral. So I just want to be very clear on that she is a Kathleen Black elite coach, teaching Kathleen Black's training program, but any realtor of any brand or broker are more than welcome to interact and connect with her. So that's exciting. As you know, our Realtor Network, I just got an update from my team today. I have to change the slide. We're not at 140,000 businesses any longer. We're now at 180,000 and growing with 80,000 plus realtor members, but I don't have that final count right now. But I was officially updated literally this morning that we're sitting at 180,000 businesses now. So thank you all for that. Again, our premium memberships are now available. This is what they look like. Okay, so if you go to our realtorschoicenetwork.com website, you pick the city, you pick the industry you're interested in, and go and see those businesses. You're going to see them. They're great. They work. They're functional. But if you really want to stand out in your city, in your industry, premium memberships are now available. They're $7.99 a month, no contract. See? I just repeated myself. Premium members stand out and get noticed.
And you did say $7.99, $7.99, not $799, right?
Right, $7.99 USD. You are correct. And don't forget, that's a complete 100% business write-off. And people always ask me, Michelle, they're like, Stephen, why are you charging us in US dollars? Well, it's because we have such a large business in the States. It's actually, I'm going to say 70-30, maybe even 80-20 in volume. And hence why we operate in USD. How it all comes together, I always like to remind people, is if you can't catch the show live, no problems. You can find it recorded. But the show does air live on our Facebook group, Realtors Choice Network group on Facebook, my personal Facebook, and LinkedIn. When the show is finished, I always take that recording and I place that on Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Google Podcast, and Anchor. So it's all coming together. The show's really starting to flourish, Michelle. Our numbers are up. Now, I don't remember if I told you this on Tuesday, or I know I was talking about it with you, but I'm going to say this again. We have a Talk to the Experts program. You can see that logo on the top of the page, and that website is rcnexperts.com. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, and I'll get to it really quick. Last week, we had 600 new users on our website. That's big. Okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with website traffic or not, but that's a pretty big number. I'm very, very proud of it. But the part that catches my most attention, Michelle, is that these 600 users conducted over 3,700 actions on our website. That means they're going to San Jose, they're going to Fresno, they're going to these different cities and checking out the experts. Very proud of it. I love the fact that we put our blood, sweat, and tears into all of our work, into the show, everything that we do, Michelle. And it's starting to gain some traction, and people are enjoying our services and using them. So I had to throw that out there. That's my self-plug. I don't know what you want to call it. Just call me a proud daddy. But our baby's starting to grow. All right. Whew. I'm actually half tired already from talking too much. But anyways, it's time for a special guest, and I'll let her do more of the talking than myself. Very, very pleased to bring on Crystal Radocaj. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name properly. Crystal is a real estate agent here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. She is a Royal LePage agent with the Top Producers Brokerage here in Winnipeg. And she's also a member of our Team Czarnecki. And she does a lot of different things, as you can see there, specializing in healthy home living, rent-to-owns, even a little bit of Mexican real estate thrown in there. But I made some notes, and there's some other incredible things we're going to talk about. So with no further ado, Crystal, you ready? Yeah, okay. Hi, Crystal.
Hi,
Yep.
Crystal. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi,
Welcome,
Michelle.
welcome. Look, I know.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you're here. Thanks so much for coming on. And you know what, Crystal? Let's just talk about this. You're going into your third year now of real estate, correct? Third year?
Mm.
And how has the roller coaster been?
Entering my third year, yeah.
So far, I mean, relatively speaking, that's new, and there's a lot of realtors that don't
It's
even
been
last that long. Has it?
Yeah. You know what? It's been a roller coaster. Yeah. When I came on, it was just after we were going through COVID, and so the sales were really up, and everybody was buying, and there was the frenzy. And then I just finished my course then. And my becoming an agent had nothing to do with what was going on at the time. I was just making a career move. And yeah, so I came on at kind of an odd time. So everything sort of slowed down as I came on. But you know what? That was okay, because it gave me a lot of time to think about how I wanted to brand myself and what niche I wanted to go into, and take some courses for that. And so that's what I did. So on top of the mentoring I was getting from Ted Czarnecki, and just experiencing things, I was taking courses and upgrading myself and kind of creating everything. And it's gotten to me where I am today, and I'm pretty happy.
Amazing. That's awesome. So before we go into more of your real estate career and what you're doing in the real estate world, what were you doing before you became a realtor?
I was an educational assistant for Seven Oaks School Division. So I worked with special needs kids and their parents, and a lot of families from the reserves. I had a really unique role with Seven Oaks School Division, actually, as an EA. Loved it, but it was time for a change.
For sure.
Going into real estate, I wasn't sure it was going to be, but I was able to take a lot of what I experienced in the school division and kind of transfer it to real estate. And that's what also helped me create kind of direction I've gone in.
Well, I get that. And the reality of it to me is I asked that question because it kind of paints a bit of a picture of who you are as a person. And Michelle will see, Michelle's nodding her head, right? We meet with so many people, Crystal, that it's the person that stands out to me and why I'm excited to have you here. Okay. You know what, the special working with special needs and education assistant, I mean, that really sort of paints a picture onto now your evolution. And like you say, you weren't sure about real estate, but now you've sort of started to grow. I always say, crawl, walk, then run. And now you have accessibility, aging in place. You've got courses in that. You've got training in that. And to me, with my background working with a builder and understanding of the baby boomers, a lot of people don't want or can't afford to live in assisted living, and they prefer always to live in their home. So I really, really commend you for putting your time and energy in those two areas. We'll start with that. What attracts you to continue to learn more about the aging in place program or scenarios with people, and also accessibility? I'm sure that ties into your special needs a little bit, but why are you interested in helping those people with their real estate needs?
Well, you know what? Again, that goes back to working with these families and the kids that I worked with, because one of the things that I found was sometimes I'd feel really bad because there would be a sibling that had a special needs, was in a wheelchair or whatever it might be. Right. And their older sibling wouldn't be able to have the home sort of that their friends had, because you have to have some special things put in place. You have to have lifts. You have to have all these things. So sometimes the quality was a little bit different. It was hard on the kids. So I started to really think about, the whole universal design. And then that kind of pulled in aging in place and having the multi-generational homes. So I started to look into courses that offered some in this. And so I found an accessibility course where I could become an accessibility certified real estate agent. So I took that. That was great because that trained me what I needed to. I mean, I already had an idea what I needed to look for, but it really showed me what I really needed to look for that people didn't think about, and most people don't think about. So now when I have clients that I not long ago had somebody who is going through a health transition, and is going into now using a walker and is going to be eventually in a wheelchair. So looking for a home for her, I really had to put that into place. So I was looking for the wider hallways, the lower toilets, wider doorways, the rocker switches, just all kinds of things. Or, making sure that there's a bathtub she can get into, or there's a shower that's accessible, how she's going to get into the building, just all kinds of things. So I thought about that. So that really helped. I did find her a place, and she's very happy there. And it also allowed her children to be in a home that was beautiful. So it's all set up for her. It's good to go whether she's in a wheelchair or using a walker. But the kids still have a beautiful home. It doesn't take anything away from their experience growing up. So that was really nice. That was one of the reasons. The other thing is thinking about the cost of housing now, and that families are having to live together for so much longer, multi-generational. So I thought, what? The place is really important, that, you find a home that's beautiful, that the younger generation wants, but it has everything that the older generation is going to need. So that kind of came into place there. And
let me interject here a second, Crystal, because you're really drawing on my heartstrings. And Michelle, before I tell my story, what do you think of that? Like, this is a different conversation. I never give Michelle a heads up about what we're going to be talking about. But Michelle, what's your take on working with aging in place and people who need special requirements in their housing? How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, being that I'm in the industry, that I do take care of people in their home and the challenges that they go through, what you're talking about just makes me want to cry, because I'm serious. It's like, you're doing something about it. You have a lot of people that's talking about it and doing this or doing that and wish we could do this, but you're actually doing something about it. And I'm pro doing. And what you said today has just really touched my heart. makes me want to cry because it's something that everybody needs to think about. You know, their aging mom, their aging dad, their aging sisters, or their disabilities, and it's something to think about it, but it's more to do about it. And I really appreciate you for that.
So I want to chime in here with my historical experience with aging in place. Like I said, I was working for a builder a few years ago, and I never knew or understood anything about aging in place. And I was called out to a person's home in an area of Winnipeg that was built in like mid to late 80s. This house was built brand new, beautiful home. And this woman loved it. Her husband loved it. And they were, retired, whatever. And, she had MS. And she was always using her walker, and she was very limited in her mobility. She had a hard time in her kitchen. She had a hard time entering her home. She had a hard time functioning in her home. Even something as simple as a floor break, like these boards, would almost topple her over. She would fall because she would have these transition areas in her home. And then I learned that the building code back in the 80s isn't what it is now for the width of doors. So she would try to get her walker in the doors, and she couldn't get access even to the washroom. She would have to wiggle herself in and try to get in there, and it would always be dangerous. And I was with this couple a few times, working on their plans with them, and she had fallen so many times. The bruising and the damage that she did on her body, I'm telling you, It was just incredible to see how hard it was for her to live in her own home. And she was so determined not to go live in assisted living. She wanted to stay in her home. And guess why? Same thing you just said, Crystal. Because her kids like to come to her house. Their kids are comfortable being there. Their kids wanted their mom to stay in the home so they could come there and be with her in that environment mentally. So I guess my question to you, Crystal, is what you're seeing and what you're learning about, does that really have effect on a person's mental level? Like when you're working with that client, could you see that person starting to get excited again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. As soon as it's funny because she was selling her home outside of Winnipeg, and a nurse that I had purchased a home through me was one of her nurses in the hospital. And the nurse said to her, hey, my agent, although she didn't need me for accessibility issues, she said, my agent is accessibility certified. Would you like her card? So when she called me, she said, you know what? I was going to go with a local agent because they know the area. She said, but no, you know what? I'm going to go with you to sell my home and to purchase my next one. And so she did. So I was able to see how she had been living and the struggles she had. And we spent a long time talking. And and I kind of told her what I'd be looking for her. And that's what we did. Yeah.
Amazing. You know what?
Very emotional. Very emotional.
After we're done, Crystal, I want you just to stick around for a minute because I want to talk to you a little bit of a contact that I would like to share with you to network with. And it was so emotional. The whole experience of working with this client was just so emotional for me. And like I say, that's why I stopped you and I got Michelle's input there because she does work with people in similar circumstances on a regular basis, as well as her financing company. But I really applaud you for stepping on the left-hand side, if you will, or stepping on the right-hand side, whatever side you prefer to call it, but not doing the same thing. Because you know what? After 3 years, you're still alive, you're still standing, you're still kicking in one of the hardest industries to last in. And you're still doing something completely unique. So amazing. So I want to talk about now rent to own. Okay. So Michelle, I'm not sure if you're familiar with renting to own, but to me, the understanding is this. If a client can't afford their mortgage, they don't whatever, but they have a dream home, they have great jobs, but for whatever reason, there's that sticky program. We don't have the same system in place that you guys do where, you know, if Crystal was in the States, she could just refer a client and you could work directly with them. But here, if a client doesn't fit that financial mold perfectly, they can still get their home through a rent-to-own program. So, Crystal, share a little bit about that, a little bit of insight about how you're working with clients and what type of clients are using those services of yours.
Well, actually, and to just a bit from what you're saying. So, yes, I work with Donna Cook with Manitoba Rent to Own. She services Manitoba and Alberta. Yes, we make dream home ownership come true. However, there's a bit of a twist on it. If you're somebody who has a great job and you can afford a $450,000 home, but you want a $700,000 home, the answer is no. We're actually not in the business of doing that. We're in the business of helping people. So we really emphasize that when people get in touch with us, that we're there for people that are newcomers. We're there for people. Sadly, after COVID, we have a lot of single parents coming. There was a lot of divorces, a lot of separations. There were a lot of foreclosures. So we're there for those people. We're there to help people who have credit issues, who have small down payments. So when they come to us, they fill out an application to pre-qualify. If you pre-qualify, then, and to pre-qualify, basically you need to have a steady job, have at least about $10,000 that you can put down of your own money, and you know, not much less. You don't have to have a good credit rating. That's the difference. So that's why a lot of couples that are going through divorce end up turning to rent to home, because they have the great jobs, they have some money, but their credit has gone down. So they come to us, we go through an interview process with them, and then move them on to a mortgage broker who checks to see if there's any way they can possibly get a mortgage of their own. Because if they can, we set them free. There you go. We've already got you on the road, and this is the mortgage broker. Then they can either choose to work with me or a realtor that they want to work with. However, if they do go with rent to own, after they go through the process and they've been approved, that's when I meet them. And then it's just like a regular transaction when you're buying a home. So I would treat them like anybody else. So I would talk to them. What are your needs? What do you want? Your location? Set them up like anybody else. Take them to see homes and do it that way. We do have there is a little program within the program where you get credit repair, which is really, really important. So they do teach you how to repair your credit, how to save, how to budget. So the whole thing is encompassed in there. So by the time your rent to own term ends, whether it's 3, 4, 5 years, when your consumer proposal's done or whatever it is you're going through, you've recovered from bankruptcy, you'll be able to carry that mortgage on your own. You'll already have money put aside to cover your closing costs and your down payment for the home, and well on your way. Success. Amazing. So that's what it's about. So we want to make dreams come true. It's not, again, it falls under that whole thing of wanting to help people.
Right. Oh, now, like that is huge statement in its own. And again, caught me by surprise. Michelle, how are the guests I'm bringing on these days? Are they fitting? Are they fitting the right spot?
Well, you know, like I always say, we're building a puzzle, but the puzzle just got bigger today, for sure.
Right, and that's what's so special, if you ask me, about our guests. And Crystal, you're fitting it perfectly, using the terminology about the business is to help people. Like, look, I bring up the rent to own. I know it's not your mainstay and bread and butter, so to speak, but again, between you being an educational assistant, working with special needs people, working with accessibility, aging in place, working with people who don't have the perfect credit, and your business to help people, this is what's making you stand out loud and clear to me. Now, there's one other component that I advertise for you, if you will. I think it's on the little thing on the bottom here too, this little banner. There it is. Mexican real estate. What's going on in Mexico, and why are you in Winnipeg selling Mexican real estate? What's going on?
So a former coworker and friend of mine from years ago, 20 years, so I know him very well. He decided to make a big move and moved to Mexico, and became an agent there, became a broker, and has become a developer. And so he has his own agency out there that I support from here. So anybody that's interested in a primary residence, a vacation home, investment property, anything, can get in touch with me and I connect them with him. As I said, he's a Canadian. I know him. I trust him. I've sent people to him. He's got 3 beautiful, amazing developments going on right now. He's primarily in Del Carmen, but he does work outside there. Okay. And so there's lots of opportunities all over.
There is.
So that's my private page, which isn't private, it's fine, but I have a page.
Okay, so you have a business page too. Like, I mean, like that's the beautiful thing about Facebook for sure. What I was just trying to pull up, and maybe I'll see it. No, that's not it. Here, we'll go back here, but I want to go here, and hopefully. Hang on a second. I'm just trying to. Technology is not always my friend. My friend, I apologize, but I think I got it this time. You did a really good job of building out your website, and I like your creativity. I know your personal attention to detail, Crystal, is impeccable. You did a nice job here. I even recognize the house too, coincidentally. So, anyways, if anyone's interested or looking to learn more about Crystal, I highly engage and encourage you to go to Crystal Radocaj Realtor.com and check her out. I feel strongly that this is a real estate agent you want to consider, not just now, but in the future and in your family, and in that aging in place content. Again, so important to think about. You know, it's that baby boomers. They have the financing, they have life experience, they have living families. These are the people, if you know them, have them contact Crystal or contact Crystal yourself at 204-803-0525. Crystal at Crystal Radocaj Realtor.com. Okay, Crystal, we're going to keep progressing here. There's have we missed anything yet that you would like to share about your experience as a realtor and what you do on a daily basis? I know there's a certain area of Manitoba I want to pull up, but is there anything personally on a real estate side of that you think you want to share with everybody?
With Sierra Estates at Oakbank, is that the one you want to pull up right now?
No, I'll pull that up right now. No, I was just wondering if there's anything. I was just wondering if there's anything personally about you that you wanted to share with everybody.
Personally, not a lot. I do take a different approach, I should say, on my website. I don't do, and on my social media. I try not to make it about me. I try to make it not things that real estate has allowed me to do, such as travel or buy. I try to not make it about that. I try to make it about the client. So you won't find stuff like that. You won't find you'll find testimonials. You'll find little tidbits of information. I try to add value to everything that I do. Sure. I'm more about building a network, supporting even my clients. I have, I meet a client, I support them. I find out that they have a moving business, or they have, I have a client who has a hyperbaric chamber business. So right away, my clients, they become my service providers after, and those of my clients. So that's I find that I'm a little unique that way. I just like to build relationships, and there's the whole healthy home piece, where when I go to a home with someone, it's really, they're looking at the good stuff and the commercial, the cosmetics of it. Yeah. And I'm looking at the smells, the sights and the sounds, and thinking about the factories and the traffic and all those things, and pointing that out to them. So I'm a little bit more unique that way, I think. But and this is Sienna Ridge Estates. This is a beautiful development in Oakbank, Manitoba.
It sure is.
Team Czarnecki is a huge part of. So now, and we got a couple houses being built right now.
Now, these are detached homes that are condominiumized, correct?
They are. So you get to have the luxury of having your grass maintained. And what I really like about them is in this picture, this is phase 1. So this isn't really true to phase 2, because in phase 2, we're doing it a little different. So they're condominium style. So you need to have, you're going to have the as far as doors and windows and that sort of thing. And the color scheme, we're going with grays and blacks and whites. However, you can change it up. So you can add beams to the outside. You can use hardy board. You can use stucco. You can use brick. You can do whatever you want. You can make them all look unique. So that's really nice. And also you have fenced in side yards and backyards, which is kind of unique. So it's good for pet owners or people that will see. These are just a few of the hundreds that are available.
Doing well with Michelle's in Fresno, California. And being in Fresno, California, she has no clue the type of winters that we deal with. And literally, I'm not exaggerating, Michelle, but 2 years ago, the sides of our driveway were literally over 7 feet high of snow. Because the snow doesn't melt in the winter, it just accumulates, and you're always having to shovel every single day up and over your head. And those 7 feet sides of our driveway, I personally shoveled myself. So having this condominiumized development with homes is very unique and incredible. I love the concept of it. To have your landscaping, your grass, all your services taken care of, to me is a huge benefit. You don't hear about it very much in single detached homes. You hear about it in multi-units, townhouses, things like that. So very, very interesting development and concept there for sure.
I would move there just for that reason alone, that someone else is doing my lawn, because I just don't have time.
Right. And so here's the thing. Now you tie in Crystal's accessibility and aging in place, and I feel strongly you've got an absolute great fit. So
I have 3 areas that Crystal talked about today. That one, very near and dear to me, is the fact that you deal with disabled and aging. 2, because California is so diverse in their population, we have lots of people that want to buy investment properties and real estate in Mexico. And 3, just the caring and giving person that you are of yourself, and you don't put all the emphasis on yourself. You put it on what you do, and not that it's bringing you. It's what you're bringing you is bringing you satisfaction, really. And you feel really good about what you do at the end of the day, and that's what it's all about. It's not about what you get out of it, but it's the fulfillment that you get by helping someone else. That is really super about you.
So with that, we're going to call this part of our show. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Crystal.
I was going to say I wasn't. That was the reason that I wasn't keen on getting into real estate, because realtors have this kind of persona where people see them a certain way, and even sometimes, if I do a post and I share it to a group, I might get a comment that's not very favorable as me to real estate agent. But you know what? I never shoot back, and I always I respond to it, and I kind of educate them on why I posted it and whatever else. So that's my route to go when it comes to that kind of thing.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I loved your quote that you're in business to help people. I really appreciate that. I think that should be your mantra. That should be everywhere with you, Crystal, because that really stands out, and I commend you on that. Look, when you're done the show today, I hope you and Doing Well with Michelle connect on a messenger or on a personal level. It just made me smile hearing that Michelle has potential leads for your Mexican real estate. Again, that's that win-win-win-win-win formula. And you know what? You're always doing well with Michelle. So I hope that you guys connect afterwards. Crystal, thank you for your time and for doing this. I know you're a little bit nervous getting on here. I hopefully think that that's probably gone by the side now, and you're not so nervous, and you feel
I
comfortable.
will.
Awesome. Thanks again for doing it, and I look forward to having you on here again.
Thank you, Crystal.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Nice meeting you, Michelle. Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you as well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, Michelle, what did you think of that? These guests, right?
Well, when you bring on guests that you didn't even tell me about her in the beginning, and I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, no, it's a surprise every time we do these shows.
Surprise, but especially with Crystal, it's a big surprise because she comes from an industry that I deal with every day, and I still have a lot of involvement, even though I'm not doing the work right now. I still have the involvement because I help lots and lots of people get through the issues that they have with providing services for people that have special needs or disabilities and aging. And the thing about what she said was making a home to where the whole family can enjoy the home. The reason why the elderly people are overlooked is, and when they get into a home or they get into an environment they're not familiar with, they still think that they can do the things that they used to do many years ago.
Sure.
So that's why they continue to push themselves, and they get hurt and they get injured. They have to go to the doctor or the hospital. But what Crystal's doing, it brings out that caring facility. Like, you're in your own home. It's a facility, but you're in your own home. You can you can make choices, make decisions in your own home. You can continue to live and you can help them get that quality of life that they deserve until their dying days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. And it was that pride. And you know what? The fact that these people, their families, all of it, it's just so mentally empowering. And, I think about when we were dealing with COVID, as you brought that up, senior citizens were stuck in these senior cared homes, families looking through the window at them, like how hard must have been. At least if they're in their own home, the family could have surrounded them, and that's just an extra point of awesomeness that these people who are, working with Crystal on their aging in home and special needs accessibility, I just see that just being a winning formula. And then I made this note too of the people on her rent to own. The target audiences of people that she's looking to work with and help are newcomers to Canada, single parents, people with credit issues or smaller down payments. Like, that's flexibility. That's option B. That's exactly what you're all about as well. So I thought for sure, Michelle, you were going to have a connection here.
Well, I definitely want to say a lot about that area. Because here in the States, as far as I know, there's not any programs like that. You can own a home yourself, and I come and I want to buy your home, but do not have the funds. I may have a small down payment, and you can agree to rent that home to me on option to buy.
Right.
But as far as a program that she is in where they actually help you with your credit, that is unheard of.
Right.
They're going to help you build your credit while you're buying your home. That's just super, super unheard of in the States. And if there's anything out there, if anybody's watching this, if there's anything like that out there in the United States, please contact us because we have a lot of people that we can help.
Awesome. Now, I'm sure there's going to be, and yes, there's actually a lot more people watching the show already today. I'm noticing our numbers are definitely increasing, and I think it's because of the conversations we're having, Michelle, which is awesome. Going to just move on here quickly to get to this. The homes in Ocala, Florida, are definitely something that if you're looking at a very affordable home in a very desirable place, they're located in Ocala. It's Central Florida. They're brand new homes. They are gorgeous. We have partners and colleagues who are behind this development. There's 18 homes available right now. If you want more information on how you can get close to a 1,400 square foot home, brand new, so affordably priced, I want you to contact us today, realtorschoiceproducts@gmail.com, and we'll definitely get you in touch with Tiffany and Monica behind these programs. These homes are gorgeous. And did you see that slip up there, Michelle? There's another thing I want to talk about. It's very colorful, and it's your Team Thrive that is starting to develop very nicely. Why don't you tell us a brief amount of Team Thrive, because I think Crystal might be a really good fit in this group and organization as well. So why don't you give us a 2-bit overview of where you see Team Thrive going and what it is?
Well, first of all, the idea of Team Thrive came because I have a team and we all want to thrive. And then it kind of evolves into the mindset of people being able to thrive in no matter what area of life that you're in. It's just a place that you can go to be yourself, that you don't have to worry about somebody judging you, being accepted. You're going to be accepted. There's going to be some areas that we have to talk about, because we don't want people coming there just to try to think that they can come in and run things, because it's not like that. It's not that type of environment at all. There's not one person, not a one-man show. It belongs to everybody. And we want everybody to feel that this belongs to me, and I can bring anybody here to this safe place to have conversations and build a network and talk to people.
Amazing. As a non-judgmental environment, I'm really impressed by that logo. I'm still looking at it, and it really does capture my attention, and I can't wait to work with you and continue to develop different events and awareness to your organization. Things like Money Mountain and the Fireside Chat with George Tremis, going to be awesome. It's going to be housed in a Team Thrive environment, so we're definitely looking forward to that. Okay, if you want to get a hold of Doing Well with Michelle, I encourage you to do so. You don't have to talk about business. Just get a hold of her. You want to chat. She is incredible, and she answers the phone and text all day long. I don't think she ever sleeps. Contact Michelle at 559-612-2111. Meet with Michelle at vcsolutions360.com. We are getting thumbs up. We're getting people sharing the show today, Michelle. We're getting comments. Somebody piped up right away, Crystal, saying that is something so amazing that Crystal is doing. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your comments. Please share the show with everyone you know who wants to get a unique story about people in business and why they do it and what they're all about. If you want to get a hold of me for any reason, I am Stephen for a reason, realtorschoiceproducts@gmail.com. Get hold of me about those homes in Ocala. I'm telling you, Monica owns a very large real estate investment company right across North America, and they invested in these homes. Why? There's 30,000 jobs coming to Ocala very soon. These investment properties are one of a kind. It's something you should learn about. I'm not a realtor. I'm not talking about prices. I'm not talking about anything, but I'd be pleased to share with you their contact information and connect you. Any other reason you want to come on the show, you want to talk business, you want to become a premium member, you want to become an expert, you contact me anytime at realtorschoiceproducts@gmail.com, 204-894-7477. Okay, that's a wrap, Michelle. And you know what? I feel so blessed to always share that we are building a better tomorrow today. And every single day it feels good. You know, let's just talk about Team Thrive a minute. We are building Team Thrive for tomorrow. But you and I have been building it every day for this entire week already.
That's right.
Right?
And you know what? I feel really good about it, because I just want to draw people that because I've been in situations where I wasn't appreciated for who I am, or appreciated for the things that I do, or put down because of who I am. And I think that anybody that comes in our group, you're going to find out that, hey, you know what? You can just be yourself. And it's okay.
Yeah.
And whatever you're going through, just share that. We can all work together to build a better tomorrow today.
There you go. You're getting it. You know what? That's 2 shows in a row that you still muffed it. So we're going to keep working on the tagline, but well done. Yeah, absolutely. You are the epitome of not being perfect, of having a very interesting storyboard, of being that person in business who's thriving and who's leading people based on your life experiences. And you are the epitome of these guests like Crystal that we're bringing on the show that are standing out in their industry. So again, I commend you on that too, Michelle. If you want to do well, Do it with Michelle. I'm Stephen for a reason. That's a wrap. Today's episode 35, September 14th, 2023. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Have a great weekend.